Class 8 Uses of Maps. Uses of maps. Uses of maps were both in the ancient times as well as in the modern times. Now let us see the ancient times, Nana. Maps were used as reference to conquer the world. In those days, kings also they wanted to always explore their kingdom and expand their kingdom. So they used to use these maps as reference tools for them to go and conquer the world and have wage wars at other kingdoms so that they can occupy the other kingdoms. Okay, and used to build colonies. Now, after industrial revolution, colonies came into existence. So, maps were mostly used for building colonies so that they could know what are the mineral resources of any place and they can use it to develop their own country. Used for trade. Obviously, trade with the help of trade only Britishers came inside India. They entered India using the excuse of trade. So, maps were used even for the purpose of trade. Sailors used for voyages. Sailors used for voyages. So when they used to go for sailing and all, that time they need maps, right? As a tool of reference to know about the places. To know about the near and far places also, people used to use maps. So these were the uses of maps in the ancient times. Okay. The uses for maps were to conquer the world, to build colonies, to use for trade, to go for voyages, and to know about the near and far places. Now let us see the uses of maps in modern times. Maps are also used in modern times. In modern times, they are used entirely for planning and development of the countries. Just to know which region is developed, which region is not developed, and how to develop any country, to see the sea routes, to see the railway routes, to see the land routes and all, maps would be a good help of reference. To identify the problems faced by a region, for example, water problems, electricity problem, or any problem, any resource problem can be identified with the help of maps. Maps are in great reference not only in the olden days for wars but also in modern times also. Maps help give us a good reference for wars. Government maintains lot of security issues in form of maps which are never available to anyone except the secured organization, that is the National Defense Organization or any country. Every country has its own national defense security system. So only those people have the idea about these maps. Mostly all the secret routes to our country and all the secret places, very important places of our country are being hidden in these maps. Nowadays, satellites also are being used in making and knowing of maps. Now, when you go from one place to another place and you open your Android phone and you just say Google Maps, and Google Map gives you the complete route of your journey, means how many kilometers it is, even the minute detail of the route would be given to you. Where there is a church, where there is a temple, where there is a railway station, where there is a railway crossing also is being mentioned in those maps. Even if you want, you can even find out the details about the restaurants available, about the petrol stations available on the route of your journey. So such detailed information is being given today in these modern times with the help of satellites. Now, there are different types of maps. Thematic maps. A thematic map is a type of map specifically designed to show a particular theme connected with a specific geographic area such as temperature, variation, population, political division, etc. So, there are various types of thematic maps. A map that focuses only on one aspect means everything cannot be kept on a map, Nana. Once you keep everything on a map, it becomes clumsy. So, you cannot get the detailed description. Okay. So for that we have different types of maps like physical maps, political maps, population density maps, climatic maps. So these are the various types of maps. In physical map you get only the geographical situation of the country, like whether it is a plain, it is a plateau, it is a mountain, it is a valley, or it is an ocean. And in political maps you get the outer boundaries of each and every state or country. Okay, in the world map you get the outer boundaries of every country. In the state India map you get the outer boundaries of each and every state. And population density map means in population density map you get to know about the percentage of population residing in any area, specific area. Okay. And climatic maps, you know, the rainfall, temperature, climatic conditions like rainfall, snowfall, temperature, winter, all these things you get to know in a climatic map. Now I'll just show you few of these maps as images. Now this is the physical map of the world. Here you get to know about the plains. See, these are the plains. The green area is plains. The blue lines are rivers, and the peach color, that is a semi yellow color like this, these are plateaus and deserts. Like that, you know the physical features of the world by seeing this map. And this is the physical features map of India, Nana. Here also you can see this is plateau area and this is plain area. Okay. And the various rivers, and this is the mountainous area. So like this you get to know about the various physical features of the place. Now this is the world political map, Nana. See, here India is. Okay. And this shows you the various boundaries of each and every country. Okay. And this is India's political map. How many states we are having? We are having 28 states and 8 union territories. Okay. So in this map again you get to see every place. See, this is the capital of our country, that is Delhi. So capital of the country is marked with this symbol. Okay. And capital of every state is marked with a black dot. Okay, Nana. So here you can see the state boundary is in white color. The state boundary is in white color, and the international boundaries are in violet color. See, this is international boundary. Okay. This is international boundary. So like this we get to identify this thing, and state and union territory boundaries also are marked in this map. Okay. Now let us go. This is the world density map, Nana. Population density map. Population density map. Now here above 700 people residing in an area per square kilometer. 700 people residing in an area above 700 per square kilometer. You have this brown color, Nana. See, this is that brown color. Very rare you can find such places. Okay. Below 25 you find this color. Below 25 means for every square kilometer only 25 people, less than 25 people are residing, like that. Above 250 to 475, this, see, India comes under that. Okay. So this is world population density, and this is Indian population density. Okay. See, here you have those figures. Okay. Per square mile, how many people residing? Less than 25, this, see, lay areas, less than 25 people are residing. Okay. Some places like this, see. Okay. And more than 200, more than 200 is the dark green area, Nana. More than 200 dark green area. So this is population density map. This is temperature map of the world. See, here we have given you the box. You can check that box. Mountainous temperature, Mediterranean temperature, tropical temperature, arid temperature, average temperature, and polar. Polar means very chilled, very cold. Temperature, okay, you can tolerate it, like that. See, these are the arid temperature, means sultry. It can be hot, it can be cold, it just keeps moving and changing. So this is the world map of temperature, Nana. Climate, we can say climatic map of the world. And this is the climatic map of India. Okay. See, tropical wet and dry, semi-arid, humid, mountainous, and deserts. So these are the colors. Okay. See, green goes for tropically wet, light green goes for tropically wet and dry, semi-arid means okay. That goes for this area. See, this pink area. This is semi-arid temperature. Everything is in extremes there. Okay. And desert temperature, white area, desert temperature. So this is the climatic regions of India. Now see this image, Nana. In this image, you find various symbols used for roads and paths, railways, public rights of way, and general features, and places of worship, and heights and natural features, vegetation, and boundary points, boundary stones, all these things. So these are the various symbols which are used in the maps. These are called conventional symbols. These are the conventional symbols representation of an object on the maps. Conventional symbols are representation of objects on maps. They are used for that. Now see. Now if I want to say the place of worship, this is the image we use. Okay. And if I want to say there is a lighthouse here, this is the image I use. Okay. And if I want to say that this area is healthy rough grassland, I'll be using this image. Okay. So like this various images are being used, and even short forms are used. For town hall they use TH, for school they use SCH, for PO they use post office. You have also learned about these conventional symbols in 6th class, Amma. In 6th class, for trees, bridges, Pakka roads, Kacha roads, all these symbols are being given. And we have also open your textbook and see page number 11. There also they are given various symbols what they use for towns, villages, huts, temple, lighthouse, mine, palms, boundaries. Boundaries means international boundary, state boundary, all these boundaries, all these images are being given there. Okay. So we are following the symbols which were used by the Survey of India department established by Britishers in the year 1767. James Renal was the first surveyor of India appointed by Britishers, because when Britishers established their power in our country, they wanted a detailed mapping of the total country to be done. So at that time they established a department called Survey of India. And even to this day also, according to the Survey of India, this word we keep using. Okay. So it has been established in the year 1767. Okay, Nana. So conventional symbols are nothing but small representations of objects on maps, because we cannot keep everything in words in map. So we use small symbols. Okay. So this is about the conventional symbols of usage of conventional symbols in map. Now various representation of relief features are done on maps. Now what are relief features? Representation of relief features on maps. Relief features means high and low places on the earth's surface. Means they can be at the high or low level. Above the sea level, below the sea level antangadamma. So relief features means high and low places on the earth's surface. The main relief features are mountains. Second one, hills. Third one, valleys. Fourth one, river basins. Fifth one, plateaus. And last one, plains. So these are the various relief features we represent on map. Now let us see how these relief features are represented on maps. Now, to show the various relief features on a map, we cannot show them all together in a single map, Nana. For this, we use the help of contour lines. We use the help of contour lines. Now, what are contour lines? Contour lines give an indication of the slope of the land as well as the elevation above the sea level. Means a land gentle slope above the sea level, అసలు ఎలా ఎంత డెప్త్ ఉంది ఏంటి ఇవన్నీ వివరాలు మనకు చెప్పేది కాంటూర్ లైన్స్ అన్నమాట. These lines are usually drawn at fixed intervals of 20 meters, 50 meters and 100 meters. Now let me show you few images of contour lines. Gentle slope, steep slope. See here In gentle slope and steep slope, the closer line represents the steep slope. See, this closer line represents the steep slope, and this far line shows you the gentle slope. But if the slope is uniform, the lines also will be uniform. Like that, we even show for hills. This is for hills, this is for valleys, and this is for plateaus. So like this, see, 100 meters, 50 meters, like that they show. Okay. So how much it is above the sea level or below the sea level or what? This is the usage of contour lines. Now various color codes are used in maps. Now let us see what those color codes are. These color codes are actually used to show what type of place it is. Okay. For example, dark color is used for forests, light green color for grasslands, brown for agriculture land, yellow for cropped area, dark gray for mountains, light gray for hills, pale yellow for plateaus, light red for wastelands, light blue for river canals, streams, dark blue for seas and oceans, white color for places with mineral resources, and black color for boundaries. So these are the various colors used to represent a land cover or land usage on maps. Now Atlas. Atlas is a book of collection of maps of various countries, Nana. It is used as a reference book. Mostly you get them in the bookshops. All types of maps are available in this book. There are two types of atlas books, Nana. One is a travel atlas and one is a desk atlas. Travel atlas లో ఏంటంటే మీకు రూట్ మ్యాప్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఎక్కువగా road journey చేసేవాళ్ళు they use this book called travel atlas. In that they show you the routes and the kilometers distance and all these things are mentioned in that travel atlas. In desk atlas, it is a book used on your desk, means for reference. Mostly students and teachers use these books for usage, for reference, for learning about the various maps. Now the interesting fact about atlas is, you know that Ptolemy has first prepared the maps. He was the person who introduced latitudes and longitudes in map making. Okay. But the first atlas book, means a systemized, not even systemized, we cannot say this is systemized. Systemized again was introduced by some other guy. On May 22nd, 1570, bookmaking and map making history was made when Mr. Abraham Ortelius, a Flemish book collector, engraver, published the first world atlas, that is Theatrum Orbis Terrarum, means epitome of theater of the world. Means in this book he has presented the world map. Okay, this is a small image of the old book, Nana. Okay, and these are the images, that is World Atlas and Oxford Student Atlas is something which you get in your bookshops. Okay, so this was the lesson about your map making and map reading. Map making, sorry, reading and analysis of maps. So this is the lesson, reading and analysis of the maps. Priorly I have sent you one video and this is the second video. So I just want you people to read the lesson once again in your textbook and again follow this video so that you can get a better, more understanding of the total lesson. You have any doubts, you can call up to your class teacher, that is social teacher Rangamma Miss, and get your doubts clarified. Okay, Nana, stay safe, stay home, be good children, listen to your parents. Thank you very much.